So, let's scoot a little closer to you. And just FYI, you'll be talking to me through this thing.
Okay.
Oh, you want to turn that camera around?
Oh.
There we go. Yes.
But I want you in it too.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yes. Hey, everybody.
Oh.
Here we are. And this is our second Periscope of the year. Hello, schmoogs. My name is Domina Dynasty, and I have a very special, wonderful, beautiful guest here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Miss Allaneous, down top. Nice to meet you.
So tell us all of your pronouns and your labels and your titles and your identifiers and your preferences and all that stuff.
I'm just going to keep it short. They, them is great for me. I'm very gender fluid,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lot. I know I'm a lot. I am a lot.
Do you identify as a dominant?
Absolutely.
Okay, so never a submissive then.
I mean, sometimes I do think I'm like a submissive at moments, and then people are like, no, you're just a pillow princess.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely submit to my masseuse. I submit to the masseuse, and that's about it.
Maybe there are times where you're like, I'm just going to fix this belt for a second.
It's all good.
I really want to. I do have an extra belt. Can I walk away for
of course.
2 seconds?
Of course, yes.
I always come prepared.
Gotta get the outfit perfect.
It's so weird.
I'm just blending in with the background because it's easier for me to not have to worry about what I'm wearing. So, Miscellaneous is also a burlesque performer and a pro dom, and that is why they are on the show today. And also because, look at them. Oh yeah, that's a great belt.
This little belt, this little thing. There we go. I can.
Yeah, and you can. That seems like mirror-esque. Right?
Yeah, it is very mirror-esque. I was
like when they're on their knees, they can see themselves.
I never thought about that. I'm gonna have to use them. Like, look at yourself.
Right.
Look at yourself.
Look at how pathetic you are down there.
That's done. That's a video. All right. That's gonna be a look.
That's why I'm here.
What are you doing?
That's why we're here together.
I love that.
So tell us about maybe one of your very first kinky experiences.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm like thinking back. I think my first kinky experience was when I was really young. I knew I liked guys' feet. I was like, oh my gosh, I like feet.
Yes.
And then I was just like, oh my god, this is so weird. Like I can't like this. This is weird. So I shut it down for a couple years until I finally hit puberty, and I started, what little boys do, mess around, and I was always like, I wanted to play with this guy's feet, and he told me what a foot fetish was, and I was like, what the hell is that?
And when was this?
Oh my gosh, this was like, I was like 12 years old, something
Wow.
like that. So I was like, okay, AOL. So I'm like Googling on it. Not even Google. So I'm like on AOL, looking it up. And I'm like, this is gross. And I'm like clicking on everything like, oh my God, I can't stop looking at it. And it just, and then it became a foot fetish. And then from the foot fetish, I met this guy one time and he was really into tickling. And I was like, that's not my thing. I don't like, tickling's weird. Like, this is not my thing. And he was like, please just like tie me up and tickle me and pour wax. I love wax on my body. So I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try it. So I was like tickling him, and I'm like, something was like, duh. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, I absolutely love this. And I just was like, he was like, merciless, have no mercy on me. So don't tell me that, because when I will go in on you.
Yeah.
So I was just like going in and going in. And I remember, I almost burned this person too. I remember I didn't know anything about wax. He's like, I'm like, I don't know what to do. He's like, yeah, just pour it on me. So I was like, ha ha. And he was like, no, don't do that. And I was just like, yeah, I didn't know that. So I was like learning, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to find out more about this whole tickling, this whole wax thing, and like just start exploring other things. And then the tickling really became my really main kink. The tickle torture became my really main kink, and then from there, other things started like boiling in and coming in, and I'm like, ooh, I like this. I like spanking. Ooh, I like ball busting. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. So it just kind of like, snowballed.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know.
Yeah, that's so fun. So yeah, tickling is really, like, it's very energetic.
It is.
You know, and it's not, like, when you think about it, maybe it's not as exciting as when you're actually doing it, right? Because you had decided kind of before you started tickling, you're like, it's not really my thing.
Yeah.
And then when you started doing it, you're
like...
I
feel like, I mean, the thing I love about tickling is you can make it playful and you can make it not playful. And the thing about it is when you're tickling someone, you really see who they are. Yeah. You really see who they are.
They're very vulnerable.
And they're super vulnerable, and everything comes out of them. And you can make it playful, or you can just make it torturous, or you can make it whatever you want. But I love, like, whenever I'm tickling someone, like, literally, they'll start holding back, and then after 2 minutes, it's like, I see who you are. I know who you are. I see who you are. Everything just comes out, and people just start being themselves. And I think what I love, I love to laugh. I like to be funny. I love to joke around, but I love to laugh, and it's just so nice to see someone be tickled at first, and they're holding back, and I'm like, no, laugh. It's okay. Like, let it out. Yeah. And when you laugh, there's all these toxins and pheromones, and I don't even know all blah 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 about it. But there's always just something that's good about it for laughing. It's good for you. It's really,
so
really great. No, it's really great for you, and it's great for the soul. And I don't know. It just
it's like a very kind of like unposed expression. Like you're not being pretentious. You can't really like hide anything about yourself when you're really, really laughing.
Absolutely. I mean,
it's
unrehearsed. Absolutely. Yeah, and especially when you're laughing, everyone's got a different laugh, and you're tickling someone. It's just like their reactions are just so real. Yeah. It's just real. Yeah. I love it.
Okay. I mean, we share that in common. Yes. I love that. So did these kinky experiences were they sexual, or did they lead further into, I mean,
first,
they snowballed
First, they were very sexual. They still can be sexual to me, but sometimes they're not. It really depends on the person. It depends on the chemistry. It can be very sexual. Sometimes it's more erotic, and sometimes it's just like, I'm just going to destroy you. I don't care. I'm just going to destroy you.
I'm just going to destroy you.
You're going to be destroyed.
And you're going to like it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about the evolution of your sexuality then?
I mean, absolutely. Oh my gosh. So I grew up in an extremely religious family. So, being gay was like, absolutely not. You're going to hell. Yeah. You're horrible. You are not a person, blah, blah, blah. So it was just like me being a little boy being like, oh my God, I can't tell anybody. Like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. I'm going to church camp. I'm going to prayer. I'm going to this, and that. And then when I got older, my mother found out about my boyfriend, and my sister came up to me and was like, Mom thinks you're gay. And I was like, well, I am. And my sister, I know. She like put two and two together and was like, okay. And I was like to my sister, I'm like, well, yeah, I am. And my sister was like, yeah, I knew it. And then my mother asked me, and I'm really close to my mother. And she was like, she asked me, and she just like totally shut down and became this weird ass person. And I left my house when I was 17 years old. Oh. And I was like, I'm never coming back if you do not accept me for who I am. You can't accept me. Like, I'm not dealing with that. Yeah. So I literally left and never went back, and didn't talk to my mom for about 2 years. And then, it was 2 years.
So courageous.
Yeah, I left. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And I left, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I left. And it was really hard, but I'm glad I did it. And once my mother found out, and then my father is a preacher's son, so my father's like Southern Baptist preacher's son. And my father asked me, and he was like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, oh my God, he's going to punch me in my face. And I was like, yeah, I'm gay. And he goes, well, I love you no matter what. I do not really accept. Yeah, he was just like, I really don't accept your situation, but I love you, and you're my son, and I love you no matter what. And I was just like,
really? Wow, what happened? So
who are you?
So this happened after you left?
No, he told me that before, and then I left when I was 17.
Okay, so
this was like the same day, like all snowballing in the same day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I stood at my house for like 4 days, and I was just like, I'm not doing this. So I ended up living with a friend, and I left when I was 17 years old and never went back.
Wow.
But me and my parents are great now.
Oh, that's great.
We're absolutely great now.
That's a
We're
success story.
No, I know.
So your father never really changed his tune. It was your mother that was kind of problematic.
Yeah, he was. But I mean, when I'm around there, I really don't talk very much about things. They're old school, so I keep it separate. Yeah. But they know. I'm like, hello, look at me. Yeah. They know.
They have the internet.
They know. I know. Oh my gosh. They know. I know. They have. Yeah, that is true. And I just don't bring up everything around. But if they say something or someone says something about me or blah blah blah, I will say everything. I will just put it out on the table. And if someone doesn't like something, like they were like, "Oh, she should come to church with us," and I was like, "Yeah, last time I went to church with you guys, the pastor said something about gay people, and I'm not down with that. I'm never going to your church again." Yeah. And they were like, "Okay." And they didn't say anything. So I was like, okay, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for shenanigans.
That's nice.
Everyone's entitled to have their own opinions and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I just keep it separate, and I don't say anything bad about religion. I don't say anything, but, I just keep it separate.
Yeah, that's actually really insightful because, that could be applied to so many different things in life. Not just, and your family kind of
absolutely
brought that about.
No, it is very true.
Yeah.
So just keep it separate.
Keep it separate.
Keep it separate. All right.
So, can you tell us about maybe some other insights that you've learned from your sexual or your kinky journey?
Oh my God! What kind of insights? I don't even know what to
tell.
Well,
one of the insights that you just came up with is like just kind of keep it separate.
Keep it separate. I mean, my thing about it is, God, that's hard to say. I'm like, let's come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. And I just want to remind everybody, so far you've been all very polite, but for those of you on Periscope to please hold your questions until the very end. You'll definitely have an opportunity to ask Miscellaneous all kinds of questions. And then those of you on Instagram Live, my phone is too far away for me to read any sort of questions, so
me too.
that's not my priority. But if you want to hop on Periscope, that's the way to be seen. So let me go back to, there was something that I wanted to ask you about, and this is something that I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about. But so Miscellaneous is what I would refer to as post fetish. Like, you are a dom, you're a top, but you're wearing this item in your nose that is a nose hook.
Take it out. It's a nose hook.
Yeah, it's a nose hook. And a lot of times within a scene, that is something that the top puts on the bottom. And it's, sometimes it can be humiliating. Other times it's more for like bondage or restriction or whatever. But you're wearing it as a fashion accessory. And so, like, what is your opinion about, I guess, like, items that could have meaning within a scene, but then also outside of a scene are more fashion accessories?
Absolutely. I'll cover this. I don't mind. If I see something that's very submissive, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to wear it. Like, to me, I'm like, ooh, this is cute. I'm going to wear it. Like, people are like, well, why are you wearing that in your nose? Like, why do you wear the weird lips in your photographs? It's for sissies. Like, why? And I'm like, well, this is what I want to do. I'm not in the scene. And plus, if I see something I like, I'm just going to fucking wear it. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. To me, it doesn't matter. Fashion-wise, I would say, what was the question again?
Just kind of talk about what you're talking about. Like, you're already talking about.
I mean, well, fashion-wise, fetish fashion it's huge in the fashion world now. Like, it's not taboo anymore.
It's not taboo anymore.
People are walking around in collars, and they're like, I got this on Doll's Kill. Look at me, I'm wearing a collar. And, good for you. Like, that's fine. It doesn't mean, it might not mean that you're submissive or you're into the lifestyle.
Right.
But it's different when you're in a kink setting, or you're at a party, or you're in a scene and you're wearing a collar. Of course that's going to mean something. But for the normal world, it means fashion to them. They don't see the difference. And for me, I guess I kind of don't see I see a difference to some extent, because if I like something, I'm like, oh, it's like, I want that. Like, oh, I want that.
Yes.
You know, after I'm a transvestite wearing women's clothes, domming men, and
and
non-binary people,
that,
and it is what it is, and this is what it is. And I mean, and people would say to me like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you wearing women's clothes? You can't be dominant. You're wearing women's clothes. And I mean, that same thing as saying a woman can't be dominant, or a shorter woman is not powerful, or a tall man is powerful, which is a lie.
So it seems like it's really up to the person that is, wearing the thing to decide what is dominant for them.
Absolutely.
Right? And whether you're in a kink setting or you're in a different setting, that could, the thing that you're wearing could mean different things, and to be aware of what it means in one place and maybe it's meaningless in another place is still your own awareness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
other people don't get to define you.
No, absolutely. This nose hook has been here for 4 years. and
I love that it attaches to the
it
collar.
touches. Yeah, it just touches so it doesn't come off.
Okay.
And I wear so many different things. Sometimes I'm like, I want to wear a wig. Tonight I was like, I don't want to wear a wig. I don't want to wear a hood. I just want to be bald, and I just want to wear a nose hook.
And a fishnet.
Yeah, and fishnet on my, and a simple casual fishnet on my face.
and a bra.
And a bra.
My sweater dress.
Absolutely. and a big bell.
Oh, and these stockings. Can you please show everybody these amazing stockings?
Oh my God.
Yes, and the backs. Those are gorgeous.
Gucci heels.
Yes. Oh, hello.
Hello.
So nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything goes together really well.
I'm really particular on what I wear and how I dress. I will not leave the house if it's not perfect. Like, remember, I was like, I have to change my belt. If it's bothering me, it's not perfect.
And you did it twice.
Yeah, I changed it twice. If it's not perfect and I'm not comfortable, I will not leave because I need to feel good. I need to feel comfortable. I need to feel confident. When I just look in the mirror, I just say, yep, it's time to go.
I think that's another really important thing about being dominant and having agency and autonomy over your own style is that you define yourself in what you wear and what feels good to you, and you don't have to, like, if you're, wanting to appear dominant, you don't have to wear what everybody else thinks that you should wear or what other people think is dominant. Like, if you're not into leather, don't wear like a big old leather cap and carry around a riding crop if that's not what makes you feel good. And so, thank you.
I mean, well, my thing is, like, always for me, you have to stay true to yourself. You have to stay true to yourself. You just have to be yourself.
Yeah.
I'm always 100% completely myself.
That is sometimes easier said than done, because I think a lot of people have these like archetypes and prototypes that that feel like they have to follow, especially, women.
Absolutely.
Like, women should be skinny, should be pretty, should, have like their labia should look a certain way and blah blah. And for somebody like you, maybe you have less of that. Like, you have, like, off camera we were talking about, who inspires your fashion, and you have, there's two main people that we talked about, right?
Yes.
And they're not like the kind of media images that you get inundated with every day. Like, you had mentioned Grace Jones.
Yes, Grace Jones.
And
Lee
Bowery.
Oh, and Alexander McQueen.
Oh, yes.
The late Lee Alexander. I mean, I would wear Alexander McQueen.
Yes.
But that's just me.
Yeah. And that's not the kind of thing that you see everywhere.
No, it is true.
It's less of a trap for you.
I would say yes, but like I said, stay true to yourself. You don't have to be skinny. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to be this. You just have to be fucking you. You, be yourself, and take care of yourself. And present yourself how you want to be presented.
Yeah. And even if it's like a submissive way of presenting yourself, I think that can also be a little bit challenging for some people because they don't always have, like, I guess, a role model to look after. So you really have to be in touch with who you are as a submissive.
No, that's very true.
Yeah.
Be your true self.
Be your true self.
Absolute true self.
Let's see. So let's talk a little bit about your burlesque performances.
Yes.
What kind of, I don't know, what would you call your your performance?
My burlesque style is neoclassic burlesque.
Okay.
Always with something with a twist.
Yeah, can you define what neoclassic is?
I mean, classic is, I would say classic is that beautiful Dita Von T style with the glitz and the glamour and the, the full gowns and the corsets and the rhinestones and the fans.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
And you can incorporate that inside of neoclassic, and neoclassic is something that's a little bit not traditional, and sometimes there is traditional kind of neoclassic, but I am just like on another realm of neoclassic. I would say like usually my numbers are a bit fetishy just because how I look.
Is there anything beyond neoclassic? Like, is there such a thing as horror burlesque?
There's so many my thing is I am neoclassic, but I'm also known as dragless, meaning it's drag and burlesque mixed together.
Oh,
you can make anything.
okay.
I've seen some guys perform, and I'm like, a friend of mine was like, "Oh my gosh, he looks like a dad. Is he doing dadlesque?" And that's fine. You can do dadlesque.
Right, okay.
You could mold it until you want.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some really fun male burlesque.
Yeah, there's a lot of great boylesque out there.
Boylesque.
Yeah. There's a lot of really great boylesque out there. Okay. I love the term draglesque because when I get on perform, I do lip sync sometimes. I'm half drag, half burlesque. Stick it together, you've got draglesque.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. Oh.
Go ahead.
I am also the producer of Hardcore Burlesque. It's every third Wednesday at Bazaar Bushwick. It's a fetish variety show, and it's lovely. Every third Wednesday. At Bazaar Bushwick.
Okay, I'm gonna try to remember that because that's right around the corner from me. And it's...
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be calling you and be like, "Where are you? What are you doing?"
Yeah, I'm gonna be coming for sure.
Oh, please come! And I have a fetish auction too.
Ooh.
And I sell some I sell some really, really great stuff.
Wow.
So you get really, really nice quality stuff for a good price.
Like clothing.
Yeah, like clothing and hoods and necklaces and harnesses and all that fun stuff.
Yes.
And people go, "Oh my god!" Even
a
like
chance to watch a performance and shop.
You can watch, and it does really well. And I always get people that are not really into kink, and they just get so excited on buying random things, and they just bid like crazy and put it on, and they're just like so excited. And I'm like, "Good for you! Like, have fun, live a little, let your hair down."
Yes. Well, it's really great to provide like a safe space for somebody to explore that part of themselves.
That space is completely safe, and everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome, and so it's like, and the show is a variety show, so I have every single kind of body type, race, sideshow, burlesque, singers, demos. Like, it's just a mix of things just for people to come and enjoy on a casual Wednesday. Casual Wednesday.
So I wanted to ask you about whether you think, and this is more just like your own opinion and observations, that BDSM and kink are becoming more widely accepted in our culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that with people that are kind of challenging the norms and the stereotypes of what a dominatrix is or whatever a drag queen is.
Yeah.
And doing more hybrid type things, like everything is existing all at once. Like,
absolutely.
You can be all the things.
It is existing. Sometimes when I go out to clubs and go out and I'm fully dressed, and I'll get like random moms from Long Island wanting to take pictures with me, and they love this and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a couple of years ago it was just a little like, and now people are like, "Oh my god, I want your picture. Can we take pictures? Can I talk to you? Can we blah blah?" And it's just, I'm from male and female.
That's great.
I'm just like, oh. Really?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. I feel like it's a lot more accepted, and especially, it's a lot more accepted. I think because movies and what's on that.
For sure. Well,
what's on?
I want to ask you, so you are always, when you're out, you're dressed.
Yes.
And you're quite a spectacle.
Yes.
And I mean that in a very positive way.
Absolutely.
Do you think that people, like, if you were out and about somewhere where the context was different, but you were still a spectacle, that people would still be, like, drawn to you in the same positive way?
It depends on where it is. I would say yes and no. Like, I'm not going to just be like, I'm going to go to Peter Luger like that. I mean, I could and I would. I'm like, you know what? It depends on if I had a date or not. But I'm going, you know, I will have a 24-ounce filet mignon, and he'll have hot water. Thank you. Oh, I know.
and
I'm
he
just
has
like,
to drink it from a bowl under the table.
Absolutely. I'm like, waiter, hot water, boiling hot water
in a metal bowl.
Bowl on the floor. Yeah, and I would just eat my 24-ounce ribeye by my, and I would, but some things I'm a little careful with. Like people are always like, "Oh, well, how do you travel?" I'm like, "By car." Like I don't travel by subway. It would be too much energy. It'd be too many people. It's not meant for that.
Okay.
I mean, I have traveled by subway for my club kid days.
Sure. Okay.
And there would be like 30 of us, and no one would fuck with us.
Right.
But me alone, like, it's not gonna happen.
No. Okay. Because I've definitely seen club kid looking people.
Absolutely.
On the subway.
And they do, but for me, for my safety, I just don't take a chance. I take a car everywhere. If I'm with somebody, we're not going far. Like literally maybe, but like me alone, like sitting, you know, going to Rockaway Park. No, it's not going to happen. Absolutely not.
That's really smart.
Safety's first.
Yeah.
I mean, safety's always first for me.
Safety should always be first.
Always be
in
first.
every regard.
Absolutely.
Can we talk a little bit about your career as a top,
Yes.
as a dominant?
Yes.
How did you get into that?
That's so. I mean, I don't really have a spectacle story, but sexual wise, when I was younger, I was more on the submissive side, and I always wanted to kind of please people. And as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't want to do that. And like, no. And I've always, you know, exploring with different things, and I really don't know how it came. I think it was when I started dressing up and just seeing the reactions of how men would look at me, and how people would always like say things to me, and I just kind of went from there and was like, you know what? I'm going to give something a try. I like this. And if I can get someone to come over and do this and get a little extra for it, why not? And it just started like, the look came, and it was just like, the look came, you know, and then from that, it just kind of snowballed into something.
Okay, so was it like by word of mouth that people found you and discovered that you provided this service? Basically. Oh, okay. That's so nice. Yeah, so then you don't really have to utilize advertising sites and things like that?
Well, I did do like Backpage and stuff like that back in the day, but then after a while I stopped for a little bit and just started focusing more on performing. But like now, like Instagram, you know, Twitter, like different things like that, and
those platforms are still viable.
They're still, they really are.
Totally, especially when you have something that is so visually compelling, which you cannot deny.
The mirror bell. Look into yourself.
Look at yourself.
Look at yourself. You look like shit. Oh my god. Oh, I can't wait. I never thought about that. This is about to get you to like look at yourself.
So many different purposes.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you also about your like any pet peeves about your, I guess, just presence in life, your professionalism, or you know, something that happens at performances and things like that. Like what kind of
pet
things that people don't seem to understand about you as a human.
I would say pet peeves are people always want to touch me. Like they want to touch me. Oh my god! Like, and I'm like, my thing about it, I'm like, okay, if I wasn't in my look and I just came up to you and started touching you in public, what would you do? Yeah. Like people have to do that. So you tell
people that?
Absolutely, I tell people like, if someone's like, oh, I like your corset, can I touch your corset? I'm like, absolutely. But for someone to be like, oh my god, your waist is so small, and I'm like, I don't know you, like, don't touch me. Or when I'm performing, like if I'm walking around in a thong and someone slaps my butt, I'm oh, why'd you do that?
Yeah, so you confront them.
Absolutely, because I let people know, like, this is not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay.
It's absolutely not okay. Just because you're at a show, you paid your money to get in, it's not okay. You have to think about the situations. I would say my pet peeve are, like, people touching me, or if you're coming to a show and you're on the phone the whole time and you're just rude. That's my other pet peeve. And my other pet peeve are like people that are super late to things. Like if I'm like, I showed up early, I let you know ahead of time. Like, hey, I'm coming. Like, I don't like to waste anyone's time, a slave's time, a mistress's time, no one's time. I don't like to waste people's time. So I'm like, hey, I'm coming this time. If I'm a little late, I'll let you know I'm going to be late because time is money. Yeah. Time is money, valuable time, and I'm just, no, I don't have time for it. I'm like, I will let you know, hey, blah, 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 and I can't, I wait around for a little bit, but then after that, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a sign of respect, and it's not just respecting you, like you as in yourself, but also other people's time. And like when you show up on time, you are representing yourself as somebody
Absolutely,
who's
and I
punctual.
think it's a little, people have gotten so like laid back about it. They're just like, oh yeah, you're just gonna say it's fine, we're gonna get it. And I'm like, no, it's not fine. You were late. Like, I'm the first person to say something about it. Yeah. Unless it's ahead of time and someone already tells me, oh, I'm gonna be late, or this or that. Yeah. Then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Don't be late.
Absolutely.
Because she will make you kneel on the ground and look at yourself.
This mirror.
So maybe we can allow some of our viewers to ask questions if they have any questions, and if not, then if you wanted to talk to any of your viewers,
I don't have these damn gloves on. I can't even scroll through anything.
Scroll? Do you need some help scrolling? Okay. Is kink about post-humanism? That was a question. And then the rest of these are like, I love you.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Is kink...
I don't even know. I mean, I'm going to sound stupid.
I didn't read that again.
Define post-humanism. I know I sound really stupid.
Is kink about post-humanism? Okay, so... I guess my reaction to that question is like, humanism. Like, what do you mean by humanism? Like, is that like humanitarianism? Is that like being human and doing human things, as opposed to kink being something beyond that? Because I think kink is actually very human.
Absolutely. And
it's natural, and it's like. I don't know. I think that we've been brainwashed into thinking like that, that sexual relations are very narrow between people a lot of times, and that there's actually like a lot of different ways to have sex.
Absolutely.
And that's human. Like, sex is human, you know? And so all the different ways that you can have sex is also human. Whether it involves like shackles and bondage and a body bag, or if it's about getting dressed up and playing a different role, or being a non-human, like an object or something. And I think that I don't really know how this person would define humanism, because like all these things are born out of human desires.
Yeah, that's so true. I think that's true, and I feel like even. You know, you talk about things before. You talk about, like, you're not like, oh, I'm, you know, let's just say this person's not in needles. You're like, I'm just going to do this. Like, no, you're talking about it. Yeah. So it's like two humans talking about it, and the actually human, and it's consent. So the person actually wants it, so it goes together. Yeah. So that's what I think about it.
Yeah, and it's like not inhumane.
Yeah, it's not.
Because they've both agreed upon it through negotiation. Yep. Talking with their human mouths and listening with their human ears. Absolutely. I don't know. Maybe I need to look up what humanism means, but maybe
that's why I was like, wait, I need to. I was like, wait, I don't get it.
Let me just look it up.
We're just gonna look it up.
Just curious.
This camera, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions?
Oh, sorry that
it's okay.
Netflix came on.
I love that your Netflix came
on. Okay, so it's a term with at least 7 definitions. Would you consider New York the most vibrant, exotic city?
Would I consider?
Yeah.
I would say probably New York and Berlin. Actually, New York, Berlin, London.
Yeah.
New York, Berlin, London. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
That's a great question, actually. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question.
They're all vibrant in different ways.
That is true. It is very true. And there are a lot of places that are. Like, I think it just depends on where you are.
I kind of like the difference between New York and London, because I feel like London is like old York, and you kind of get to see the roots of America in some ways, or like what New York is about, but kind of like in an older way.
Oh, from London?
Yeah, because there's a lot of kind of New Yorky things in London, or the other way around. Like, York is a part of London, or it's a part of the UK. York.
Yeah, of course.
And then there's all these names that are kind of like taken from the UK and put into New York.
I never thought about that. That's true, though.
Yeah, so whatever. It's just like it's kind of like the OG of
Basically.
of what this big city is. So humanism. This is kind of boring. I don't want to go into it.
Okay. Thank you for asking the question. We answered a little bit.
I hope we answered.
We're gonna just move on a little bit. Let's move on.
It's just that there's like all these.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Wait, there's so much stuff. Like,
yeah.
I was like in my head, like trying to figure it out. And I'm like, definition.
There isn't one definition. There's 7, and they're all very philosophical and like literary, and so. One is called objectivism. Tries to counter the overemphasis of the subjective. Okay, yeah, let's move on.
Okay, we're moving on. We're good.
Sorry.
No. We're good. We answered it. So,
yeah, we answered it. And then, do you have any advice for individuals that are looking to kind of like follow in your footsteps, or? I mean, I think that your advice of just be yourself is
absolutely
really important.
Be yourself. Be open-minded. Willing to try things. Mm-hmm. Put yourself out there. Go to a party. Meet people. Talk to people. And just, get your feet wet.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I have to kind of acknowledge that you are what appears to be in a place of privilege, because there is a real danger for queers.
Absolutely.
And for people who dress a certain way.
Absolutely.
Or present themselves a certain way, especially if they're actually trans.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
Transition.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So what, like, how do you reconcile safety with expression, self-expression? Besides, always take a car.
I mean, be wary of who you're gonna meet. Never meet a person. Don't meet people alone if you've never met them. Mm-hmm. Ask a million questions. Just be very cautious. Go with your gut. Mm-hmm. Go with your gut. I mean, especially like as a queer person, I have to be very careful. I have a lot of transgender friends. They have to be very careful too. There's a lot of bad, horrible things happening to transgender men and women, and it's disgusting.
I know.
And
it's really sad.
It's really, 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 really. It's really sad, and they have to be extra careful. Mm-hmm. Extra careful. Yeah. I'm living and going to parties and working and doing things, but they're a 24/7, like they're 24/7 themselves.
Right.
They're going to the bathroom. They're going to the restaurant.
They're
not. They're just being themselves. They're going around. Yeah. They can't take it off, and and they can't hide it because they're themselves. They have to take a car. They have to take a bus. They have to walk. Yeah. They have to go to work. So there's a lot of dangers that they have to deal with, because they can have a safe space, but what happens if you're going to work and that's not a safe space?
Right, exactly.
So you have to be extra careful.
You do have to be extra careful. And I think that, I guess this is, this is kind of like a difficult topic, because like sometimes if you're trans and you have just enough money for like your hormones and you're saving up for your surgery, you don't have a lot of money otherwise. And maybe you live in like a place where, it's very dangerous.
Absolutely.
What would you recommend for something like that?
Oh my God, that's so hard.
I'm sorry.
That's hard, because they only can do what they can do, and I would say, if you're able to have a friend or a girlfriend that you're able to live with, or you're always traveling, buddy system, mm-hmm. travel buddy system, 2s, 3s. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be 2 transgender people, 2 men, women, or queer people, or blah blah blah. Just don't travel alone.
Yeah, I think a buddy system is really
I think a buddy
smart,
system's really great. I think it's nice to be able to like live with someone that understands you. Money situation's going to be hard. I can't just say, "Oh yeah, move to blah 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 with your money," but a lot of people can't do that.
No, and
so it makes it harder for them.
I wish that I could. I don't know. House all the trans.
Oh,
babies.
we wish we could. I wish we could take all that money and get into all that, but you know what I mean.
We'll not go there.
Yes.
Okay. Accidental emoji. Okay. So no questions. It seems like.
I know. That's so weird because usually when I'm out, people want to ask me everything.
All the questions.
All the questions. And I'm like sitting here like, ask me a question. Ask me a question. And everyone's all like,
oh well.
No, I'm not gonna ask you a question.
Maybe they're just like so enthralled with your look and your presence that they're just you're the answer. You're the only answer they need. So can you tell us about some events or some shows coming up or things that you'd like to projects you're working on, things you
absolutely. I will be at the National Sawdust in Williamsburg, nice. Brooklyn for Switch and Play for the vampire show for one of my favorite people in the world, the greatest femc in New York City, Miss Malice. It's her birthday, and it's a vampire show.
Nice. When is that?
That is this Friday.
Oh, this Friday.
This Friday. I believe it's at 10 p.m. This Friday, 10 p.m. at National Sawdust. Be there.
So National Sawdust is a venue.
National Sawdust is a venue.
Okay.
It's a beautiful venue.
Okay.
Then I wish I had all my... I wish I had all my stuff written down. I should have had everything written down. I don't. I do have my show on February 20th, which is Hardcore Burlesque, a fetish variety show at Bazaar Bushwick. Come and see me. Yes. I do have also other things, but I should have wrote everything down and just been like,
is it anywhere online that I
No,
can
it's not, and I've been so bad. It's literally on my phone.
Is it on your Instagram?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I should just...
Well, if people follow you on your Instagram, will they be able to find it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is miscellaneous. I spell it a little different. I spell it MISC ALLANEOUS, but I just gave you the wrong one, actually, because I forgot the underscore. So my Instagram is MISC underscore ALLANEOUS DOMTOP.
Okay.
Miscellaneous top.
And if you guys also are on Twitter,
it's MISC underscore ALLANEOUS on Twitter.
Yes. And you don't have a website, do you?
I actually do have a website.
Oh, you do?
But
I've
had it for like a couple months, and it's not exactly how I want it. And I'm like, no, I'm one of those people like same thing.
Right?
I know it's in progress. I'm like, nope, I'm not putting it up. Nope, it's not coming.
Okay, it's not perfect.
It should be up by the end of next month. It'll be up.
Okay. So. And are you going to, I guess, like promote that on your social media?
Absolutely, I will promote that I'm on my social media and blah blah blah, and soon I'll have clips up, and it'll be. This year is going to be a lot of stunt shows and shenanigans.
Wonderful.
So I'll make sure I have my clips up and my website up and all my good stuff when I'm traveling and shows and kickball changing and kicking balls in the city and all that good stuff.
All right, good. I look forward to that. So one last question.
Yes.
What are your vices and virtues?
Oh my gosh, I sound so stupid because I kept being like, what is that? But tell me what you're...
I think we kind of touched upon this earlier when I was making you some offerings. And you said,
what do I love?
You're like, I'm into sugar and so...
Oh, my vice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
So that would be kind of a vice.
Yes. I'm like, I love I love sugar. I just love sugar. I love candy.
What's your favorite kind of candy and what's your favorite soda?
Well, my favorite soda is Mexican Coca-Cola, but I only drink it sometimes because I had a big Coca-Cola issue, and now I'm like, no, I only can have Diet Ginger Ale. Okay. Give me Diet Ginger Ale. I mean, because I would drink like literally like 4 to 8 sodas a day, and that's not good for the body. That's
You're
horrible.
right about that.
It's horrible. So I'm like, you know what? Give me a little Diet Ginger Ale 1, maybe 2 times a day if I'm feeling.
Cut it back a little bit.
Yeah.
It's good.
What's my favorite candy?
Yeah, what is your favorite
I
candy?
think I love like gummy worms and like gummy bears are good. I do love Snickers.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's
Okay. And then your virtues, which, earlier we were
Yeah.
talking about the same thing. You're like, I don't drink and I don't smoke.
Oh, I mean,
that's a virtue.
I mean, basically, I mean, I come from like the club kid scene back in the day, where I mean, everyone was drinking and smoking and doing drugs and blah blah blah. But I actually don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't do any drugs, and I've never had. And it's just never been my thing. I don't know. It's just never been my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I never got caught up into it. I never feel peer pressure about it. Even being out, going out in the club kid scene, and people be like, "Oh yeah, here's some coke." I'm like, "Oh, I'm good, girl. Thank you. No, thank you."
Yeah.
And people like, no one's ever questioned me or ever been like, blah blah blah. And I've been very blunt to people. Be like, "You can do what you want, but
Right.
I don't do any of this, and you be you, I be me. Like,
no judgment.
no judgment.
No
I don't
thanks.
care. Yeah,
That's great. Awesome.
perfect.
So somebody had, and this wasn't quite a question, but they said something about orange juice. Do you like orange juice?
I know that was so. I saw something about orange juice. I don't mind orange juice on occasion. I mean, I don't mind orange juice on occasion. It's not like my real big thing. I don't know.
What do you think of like fruity sodas?
I like them. I don't mind them, but I'm like, I have to stop having these damn
Yeah.
fruity sodas.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite is strawberry, and it's not like very common. You know, you can't find it everywhere, but strawberry soda.
My thing was Dr. Pepper. I used to want Dr. Pepper 24/7. And when I was a child, I think this is what came from. My parents were like, "Yeah, we don't want to buy you sodas. Like, we need something more nutritional." And they were just like, "We're just poor. We just don't have enough money to buy sodas."
Oh,
So,
wait, but soda's so cheap.
I know, but there were 6 of us in the family, and we would buy. My parents would go and buy
it'd be
bulk,
gone.
and it'd be gone. So my parents were like, "Nope, we're not spending money on this." Like, of course, sodas are cheap. So when I get to school, I'd be like, "Oh my god, a soda!
Yeah.
oh,
it's
soda!
forbidden.
Oh my gosh!" And just like soda, candy, like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" And then
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, I just want Dr. Pepper." And then one day I had started drinking Coca-Cola, and I'm like, "Okay." Next 15 years, it was Coca-Cola. And then I tried Mexican Coca-Cola, and it was over. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, where have you been all my life?"
It's slightly different, but still just.
Yeah,
as
it is.
good.
It's got more of it's the sugar cane.
Yeah.
So it's
Real
yummy.
sugar.
It's a real sugar, but I'm like,
Which
you
is
know
actually
what?
better for you.
Yeah, I know it really is, but I'm like, okay, so now like when I'm home, I'm like, okay, water.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, if I eat something, maybe, and I'm like, okay, ginger ale,
Well,
but
good.
you know,
You care about your health. You don't want to end up
I try
diabetic.
to. Yeah, I know. I really don't want to. I have to be careful.
All right, so with that, I'm going to end the show. Thank you so much, Miscellaneous, for being here. Thank you, all of you viewers, for being so polite and asking
About OJ.
kind of thoughtful questions, but not too many questions. And next week we'll be actually in a special exotic location broadcasting.
Ooh.
So again, my name is Dia Dynasty, and this is La Maison de Rouge. Please tune in next week. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, time to end.
Bye-bye.